Today I want to show you how to build a tree house in your own tree house watch video completely. Let's get started. Now you too can have a tree house plan to make a safe, weather-resistant, neighbor-envying tree house that all great parents deserve to build for their little terrors. I have been making tree houses since I was very small. My dad loved to help me, and he created some lifelong memories that I will cherish forever. Buying a ready-built treehouse doesn't have the same effect. And it costs a heck of a lot more too. Today I'd like to show you how you can have a treehouse plan to build a safe, affordable, all-weather treehouse that lasts for years. And in as little as one weekend. No more safety risks, no more disappointed kids, and no more being ripped off by toy manufacturers. And that's important, because building a treehouse means more than just a hideout den for your kids. Treehouse plans. Looking back, I realized that it wasn't the treehouses that made me happy. It was the quality time I spent with my dad. And it was the pride and sense of satisfaction too. You see, every time I played in the treehouse, I would tell my friends that me and my dad built it from scratch. They would drop their jaws and tell me how cool my dad was. Some said their dads wouldn't even give them 10 minutes with a football or baseball. My dad was proud, and he knew what these simple things in life meant to me and our relationship. I'm sure you are the same with your kids, right? After all, that is why you are here, isn't it? If so, I applaud you, because these days, so many people think good parenting simply means buying them the latest computer games, or a TV for their room. Many of these kids who go off the rails are also the ones with a poor relationship with their parents. That's why you are different, and why I congratulate you on deciding to actually put in the effort to raise your children properly. And here is another kickback for you. You get a bit more peace and quiet around the house when your kids are tucked away in the treehouse all summer. However, building a treehouse can cause tears and tantrums too. I will be totally honest with you. The first few tree houses we tried to build actually ended up as a collapsed pile of wood in the backyard. Then there were some emergency tree operations where my dad had to saw branches off, just so we could get my younger brother out before bedtime. It's funny looking back, but at the time our slapdash tree houses could have caused many arguments, cuts and injuries, and caused us to get stuck or fall from a height and seriously risk our lives. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's very possible when you think about it. But my dad was smart and very protective. That's why he stepped in and showed us how to build a treehouse that would stand the test of time and keep us warm, dry and safe in any season. I went on to build many in the years that followed, and some were more tree castles than houses. Fast forward many years and I now have children of my own, and when they wanted a tree house it was my time to shine again. What I discovered along the way is that not all treehouses are created equal. Each project is different. Sometimes you'll need to work out whether the treehouse needs ground support, or if it will be stable on a certain type of tree, or which materials to use for different styles and sizes. And let's face it, the last thing you want is to put your child's safety at risk, right? That's why many people visit this website for the detailed treehouse plans I have available for you today. You see, the sheer pleasure I get from building treehouses both as a child and parent has made me want to share that with other proud parents like yourself. And when I remembered how improper instruction nearly resulted in my brother getting seriously injured, I knew that my treehouse plans would surely help other parents like you. So keep reading, because I'm going to offer you all of the resources, steps and plans you need to create a safe treehouse that lasts all year round. You're about to get everything you need all in one easy resource. From the type of house to build, through to the tools and assembly. Step by step, detail by detail. Seriously, I've got it all covered so you can avoid the boring research and finally get started in the fun project to make your kids, and yourself, proud and happy. Better still, I'm also going to show you how you can build an award-winning treehouse in as little as one weekend. Ready? Great, so let's get started. How good parents build solid treehouses. Building a treehouse. The principles are simple. There are three main components to building a treehouse: the foundation, the posts and the rest of the structure. The foundation and posts keep the treehouse functional and safe, and the rest of the structure is where you can really turn the treehouse into an amazing looking den for your kids. When you get these three elements working together properly, you will have a truly safe, long-lasting and visually stunning treehouse that your kids will adore. Now here is the overview. Step 1. Picking a suitable tree. It is important that if a tree is going to be supporting the entire house, that it is sturdy. If not, this can lead to major accidents and tricky building conditions. So a sturdy tree is a must, but you'll also need posts. The tree will often act as the main supporting leg of the house, but posts make the treehouse truly secure and safe. We'll use posts as legs to create a basic structure, so that the tree acts as only one leg supporting the house. Alternatively, when using posts you can have the tree go through the middle of the treehouse for a really cool lookout tower effect. Step 2. Setting the foundation. This is where blueprints or sound-tested treehouse plans are very useful. The foundation of the actual house can be built in many ways, some much safer than others. It depends on what materials you choose, and the size of your treehouse of course. A simple design would involve laying flat boards across the posts that you've installed and then simply nailing them all together. Step 3. Getting creative. Now that you have the framework in place, you can design the actual treehouse in many creative ways. But before you do, here's a tip. Ask your kids first. You want your kids to be involved, and to actually like the treehouse itself. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. The great thing is, once you have the core foundation and support structure, anything goes really. Obviously you will need to make sure any additional features and design elements are sturdy and can hold the weight. Remember, there will likely be several kids in the house at any one time. So don't just base your plans on a single child's weight. There are many different designs that are proven to be popular with kids, such as the open-air model which allows your kids to be visible and able to get out in an emergency, without being completely enclosed and boxed in. The more you can incorporate the tree and surrounding environment, the better. After all, the whole point of building a treehouse is that your kids remember they are in a tree when they are actually inside it. So that's the basic principles, but there's one more question. What could go wrong? First of all, these are only the basics. There are many fine details involved for maximum safety, and to be able to build it properly first time around. Furthermore, there's the safety risks. As with any DIY task or home-based activity, there's always a safety risk. When a treehouse is built incorrectly, this risk is huge. All it takes is a rough nail or a loose plank and it could spell a hospital trip and a ruined summer for your kids. And that's before we mention the risk of a side collapsing and a young child falling 10 feet to the ground. I don't say these things to scare you or put you off, but to make sure you follow plans and guidelines which are quite literally, as safe as houses. It's really not hard to build a solid, safe and great-looking treehouse with the right guidelines and tools. It won't cost you a fortune and you probably have all the basic DIY tools you need to do it right now. The one thing you're missing is the proven treehouse plans to actually take that idea and turn it into a dream treehouse that your kids will remember and enjoy for years to come. Today, I'd like to give you that missing blueprint so you can have your new treehouse built in as little as one weekend, from the scratch. Your complete guide to building a safe, unique and brand new treehouse from scratch. How to build a treehouse. Here's a guide for building any kind of treehouse your kids can dream of, within reason, and it doesn't take a DIY expert or professional craftsman to get the job done properly either. This treehouse building manual walks you through all of the vital steps, making sure you build a treehouse that is not just safe and durable, but also looks amazing too. So let's get a little more specific. Here's what I'll be sharing with you in more detail: preparation, how to get everything you need and be able to finish the treehouse in record time, even if you failed woodwork at school; preparation, how to get your kids involved, and make your life easier; preparation, my tricks for picking the perfect tree for both safety and minimal cost; tip, don't just pick the one your kids tell you to. It could cost you a hefty price and a lot of risk. Tools and materials. The 10 essential tools you will need to complete the job. Tools and materials. The 6 additional tools that seriously cut down your build time, and save you a lot of blood, sweat and tears. Tools and materials. Why you should never get your materials from a local store, and where to get cheap materials locally instead. Tools and materials. How much wood you need for different tree types and sizes. This section reveals all tools and materials. How thick should your rope be? I'll give you the exact specifications based on experience, minimal cost, safety and longevity. Joints. The most common joint used in tree houses, including a diagram of how it is put together. Joints. How to assemble the floors and walls, using different joints. And how each joint is created and finished, including diagrams. Joints. 2 joints that are used to fix cross beams, including figures and diagrams for you to follow. Joints. How to make each area of the treehouse 100% stable for life, using a range of joints and fittings that will never come loose, including drawings and diagrams. And there's more. Planning. A list of danger signs and checkpoints you must look for on your chosen tree, to make sure it doesn't give you a nasty surprise during or after the house is built. Design. Supporting legs or full tree support. The wrong choice could spell accidents, damage and wasted time. Design. The one aspect of design that most people forget about, and it totally ruins the treehouse every time. It's easy to factor in once you know what it is. Design. How high up the tree should your treehouse sit? Too high and you're risking lives. Too low and you're gonna see some disappointed faces. Use this simple formula to work out the optimal height. Design. Step by step, how to draw up your plan from start to finish, without getting lost or confused, and without the measurements going wrong when it comes to building time. Safety. My hands-free formula for testing the weight capability of different size tree houses, so your kids will always be safe. Safety. How to select a proper safety harness, and where to get free professional advice on buying the right one. Safety. How to get top quality safety goggles for as little as $5, and why it's so important to have them. Safety. The potentially lethal danger of working with plywood, and how to avoid it safely. And still there's more. Building. Step by step, inch by inch, frame by frame, bolt by bolt. How to get your materials up into the tree, and how to assemble them all at height. Building. How to build in your supports whilst you are up in the tree, with step-by-step instructions and extremely precise detail. Building. Flooring, skirting, walls, roof. Every single detail for assembling the final treehouse. Step-by-step finishing touches. How to build a solid and safe ladder, and attach it to the tree in treehouse. Finishing touches. How to stop your plywood from warping over time using finishing touches. A full guide to painting the inside and outside of your new treehouse. Finishing touches. The materials I recommend, along with the ones I strongly avoid, when padding out the decor. And really, there's still just so much more inside, including dozens of tricks, tips, shortcuts, resources and ways to save money and time in the process. And in case you were wondering, here is why it's so easy and quick and why this guide works so well. You will find this guide effective because it is easy to follow. It breaks things down into bite-sized chunks. It gives you plenty of options depending on your situation. It is packed with low-cost suggestions and alternatives. It can show you how to build a treehouse in just a few days, not months. It comes with visual diagrams and examples. It covers every detail, so your house is functional and looks great. It will save you a lot of time. It will save you a lot of money. You can get started today. Without any previous skills, you already have most of the required tools in your garage or shed, which means, finally, you will be able to give your kids a great gift that they will enjoy and remember for years. Spend quality time and create lifelong memories with your kids. Allow your kids to have their own space and time. Get yourself some peace and quiet once in a while. Teach your kids practical skills. Encourage your kids to have an added sense of ownership and responsibility. When you put it all together, it's safe to say, no other method, solution or service comes close to this. Here's why. First of all, I can't tell you how many times I've tried to find treehouse plans and step-by-step instructions in one single place before. It never happens. That's why everything I have learned was done through my own trial and error as a result. Although it's fun for me, I'm not sure every parent wants to spend months laboring away and spending a fortune on wasted materials and time building a crooked, unsafe or miserable-looking tree house. Nor do they want to spend days going back and forth on the internet trying to piece information together. Which sometimes happens to be incorrect or dangerous information too. These are just some of the reasons why I decided to create this guide in the first place. Because I knew there would be other people like me who are in the same position as I was. Wanting to know how to get started the right way, and quickly bypass the steep learning curve that other people have to suffer. Plus, I'm pretty sure most parents are like me. And want to keep the cost down at all times. That's why I've included tons of tips for getting cheap materials that most people overlook, but are just as good as the expensive stuff. And here's where I believe this guide stands out even more, because, unlike other advice out there, you do not need to risk any money upfront, do not need to risk spending money on things you don't need, do not need to risk your health and safety. So there's one last question for you. What price would you put on those lifelong memories and the newly found respect for you? As I said earlier, building a treehouse isn't just about a play den for your kids. It's way more than that to them, and to you. Just think, you'll be giving them endless hours of fun, a sense of responsibility and ownership, giving you peace and quiet, and creating lasting memories along the way. Your kids will never forget the time you spent building this treehouse for them, and one day they will want to do the same for their kids too. You're not like other parents who dump their kids in a pokey room and let them play computer games all day and night. Are you? Of course not. You know how important it is to get your kids playing outside, with other kids, and getting respect from their schoolmates. Your kids will respect and love you even more for that. Even though it's just a small gesture. And let's not forget the sense of achievement you will be getting too. After all, it's an amazing feeling to stand back and look at your labor of love. With this guide, I can help you achieve this little project at a fraction of the cost that other people have to pay. I'll show you how to save money every step of the way, and I'll show you how to build a treehouse that lasts for many years. And in as little as a few days in some cases. No more worrying about safety risks or being ripped off. No more disappointed kids who see their parents buying a ready-built treehouse that every other kid has got. With all that in mind, wouldn't you say it's worth a little bit of spare pocket change to invest in my ebook? Of course it is. Right? Well, the good news is, with this guide, you'll be able to get there without spending hundreds. And without spending months wasting time on tree houses that fall apart or become a serious health and safety risk. Here are the order instructions to grab yourself a copy of How to Build a Tree House. There's a Buy Now button below. Once you've clicked that link, you'll be taken to the order screen to make a secure payment. You will then be sent to a thank you page with simple download instructions within seconds. That means you can literally start reading today. No waiting for the postman for the next few days. The material is available to read online or to download to your computer. So no matter what, you'll always have a backup copy if you need it. Click to buy now. $27. ClickBank Secure. All you need is a credit card, no special internet accounts or anything like that. And it's totally secure. But despite the small investment, I'd like to make sure you are totally happy and protected, with this guarantee, 100% risk-free trial. You build the best darn tree house your child has ever laid eyes on, or you pay nothing. Grab your copy today, and follow the simple steps I have created for you. I'll give you an entire 60 days to give it a fair shot. If you don't like it, or can't get going for whatever reason, or even for no reason at all, then simply shoot me a quick email and tell me you're not paying for it. I won't ask you any weird questions or try to convince you to change your mind. You'll pay nothing, and there will be no hard feelings. I know this guarantee will be abused by the occasional person with no conscience, but it's the only way I can prove to you that I really do stand behind my claims and this product. I mean, think about it. If this was a piece of junk, Why would I offer such a solid guarantee? There's only one reason I'm offering this risk-free trial. Because I know you'll love it and I wouldn't be able to buy it back off you at twice the price. But I'll let you be the judge of that, once you get started. So what are you waiting for? Isn't it time you showed your kids what you are capable of, and how much you care? If so, then here's how you can get instant access today. Instant access $27 checkout with description below. All you need is a credit card, no special internet accounts or anything like that. And it's totally secure. You can be reading this ebook in as little as 5 minutes from now. This is an electronic book, ebook, that can be downloaded to your computer in a flash, produced in PDF format and available for instant download. Delivery time will vary depending on the type and quality of your computer equipment and internet connection. Lots of good wishes and hours of fun. Michael Prest. P.S. I know how much it means to give your children such an amazing gift. It tells them more about your love than any pre-made, overpriced treehouse ever could. I also know that many parents spend months, along with obscene amounts of money, trying to build a treehouse that doesn't feel safe, doesn't look cool, and won't last more than a month. You don't have to waste your time and money like they did, because this kind has everything you need to create a stunning, original, safe and affordable treehouse that your kids will remember forever. And they won't just remember the treehouse as a great place to sulk or play, but also the time you spent with them when building it. And with a 60-day risk-free trial, you can simply give it a shot and see how quick and easy it is to build a safe, cool and unique treehouse today. Give it a test drive and see what happens. There's no pressure and a whole bunch of reasons why it will pay off for you, your kids and your relationship with them. And what better way to enjoy it, other than getting up to speed quickly, and without wasting thousands on overpriced materials and shoddy designs. Get started with your risk-free 60-day trial today, and start showing your friends and family just how handy you can be, and how much of a loving parent you really are too. Check out in description below to access, now for 100% risk-free trial.